So, who is ready for two grown men discussing a classic chick flick?
I am.
I am too. What's up, guys? Disney Movie Review Sunday. Welcome in, everybody. Great to see everyone. Me, Disney Dan, and live from, well, his back garden, pretty much. We have Walt and a cameo from Melissa in the background.
There she is. She's back there.
Great to see you guys live from Epcot.
We are from Epcot. Yes, sirree. We're out and about, and I said, you know what, though? I'm not missing Disney Movie Review with my man Dan. So we are on location, but I watched this movie. I have a lot to say.
This is going to be a lot of fun, and we've got some great people in the chat already. We've got Samantha Lowe here. Now, I know Samantha loves this movie, so this is going to be a film that she really enjoys, and she's going to be really intrigued to hear what we have to say. We've got Vinny G Random Vlogs. Welcome into stream. So good to have you here. Shiny Prisma. Welcome in. Alex Brunner, Alex the filmmaker, good to see you. Yep, I'm on time this time. Welcome in, Shiny Prisma. Noah, good to see you, buddy. Welcome into the stream. Noah is in the house. Yeah, so today we are reviewing the Lizzie McGuire movie. Now, this is going to be a lot of fun. This is a film that I have never seen before, and Walt, you've never seen this before either.
No, first time, and I never watched the Lizzie McGuire TV show on Disney Channel. And I have two boys. And the boys, Walter, it was past him. He was growing up by the time Lizzie McGuire came out. And Mason, it just wasn't his show. He did like Sweet Life and with Zach and Cody and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Lizzie McGuire might have been actually in Walter's time. But it wasn't. It just wasn't Walter's thing.
It was literally just before like Sweet Life and
yeah.
Simba2 says, "Quite the imagination, Walt."
I know, right? Nah, it's just a figment of your imagination.
Just a figment of your imagination. Vinny G Random Vlog says, my daughter used to watch Lizzie McGuire all the time, and I used to watch it with her, and I remember this movie. Well, that's the thing. I used to watch the show. I remember watching the show. I remember Lizzie and Miranda and Gordo doing their little shenanigans. Matt, the younger brother of Lizzie, used to be my favorite character because he was always up to mischief and winding Lizzie up, and the typical, little brother wind up that he is. And I remember watching the TV show as a child, but I never actually watched the movie until this week because I'd never seen it before. And
so were you a fan of the show?
I really liked it. I really liked the show. It wasn't my favorite. I was more into the Sweet Life. I was a bit partial to a bit of Hannah Montana at the time.
Sure.
But Lizzie McGuire was always sort of that first big Disney Channel hit. That was where it really started to kick off. Alex Kennett, a member of the channel, thank you for being here.
Hey,
great
Alex.
to see you. And Rachel loves Disney. Welcome in, Rachel. Good to see you too. Walter's live on location. He absolutely is. This is actually, I don't know if everybody knows that this is actually Walt's back garden. So and the big sort of spherical building behind him is actually the house they live in.
Yes.
And Melissa, who actually is not too far from you, said it had a big following. Melissa can just do the review with us.
She's right there. Well, let me say this right off the bat. The one thing I liked right off the bat was, for those that don't know, Robert Carradine is in this movie.
Yeah.
Now, Robert Carradine, for those that don't know, it's the dad, Lizzie McGuire's dad. Now, I don't know if it's the same guy that played the dad in the TV show.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Well, he's the guy that was in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yep.
He's one of the two main Revenge of the Nerds from that movie way back in the early 80s. That's how I remember him. So it was really cool to see him. And, of course, his father is David Carradine, who was the big kung fu guy that used to always fight Chuck Norris in the movies. And he always played a bad guy. And
right.
So that was really cool seeing Robert Carradine. That's my little tidbit there.
Disno Adventures Noah said, did you hear that Lizzie McGuire star Hilary Duff announces that she's pregnant again? That was yesterday.
Well, how is Lizzie McGuire? 35? 30? She's not young. I mean,
she's young. Well, she's not young now, but you know,
Well,
she
that's
was
what I
young when she
mean.
did the show. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. But she's got to be, if she's not in her 30s, she's very close to being in her 30s.
Right.
So, I mean, she's grown now.
Kirsty Clark, welcome into the stream. I loved Lizzie McGuire. Me too. It was a great show when I was younger. Wendy Lou Who, another
Highly
member
popular
and a
show.
great friend. Thank you so much for being here, Wendy, from Scotland. Lizzie in Disneyland. Good to see you, Lizzie. Just dropped in to say hi, to say this movie is the best Disney Channel movie ever created.
Wow.
Going to sleep. Good night.
Good night.
All right. Thank you for stopping in,
I think
Lizzie.
a lot of people are going to be upset
appreciate
with me by the end of this one.
Let's see who else we got in the chat. Yeah, we got some people saying hello to each other. Welcome in, everybody. So the Lizzie McGuire movie sort of is directly after where we left off from the show. They're about to finish middle school. They're about to finish high school.
I think it's high school.
About to finish high school and move on to college. And they're sort of doing their last sort of retreat away with the college sort of teacher. And they're going to Rome. Now, I was really excited that they were going to Rome because I've previously, lived in Rome, and part of my career is learning about the ancient Romans. So I was really excited to see how much Rome is going to be in this film. And then I remembered, wait, this is a Disney Channel movie for kids. I'm not sure we're going to be looking at any sorts of ancient emperors or mythology. So my hopes were literally dropped.
But I will say this: it does look like they filmed it. Now I could be wrong,
they did.
But it does look like they actually filmed over there.
They did take a lot of imagery from. I don't know if it exactly was from Rome, but there was a lot of images from Rome. Obviously, the Colosseum was there. Some of the temples were there. A lot of the architecture.
Trevi Fountain. I think
Trevi Fountain, the Trevi Fountain.
Yeah, it looked like they were right out in front of that. So
they were definitely there. But yeah, it's very interesting where they sort of gone with that. So Lizzie starts off at home. She's preparing for her graduation. Her best friend Miranda. Now Miranda's actually not in this film, but Miranda was her best friend during their high school days. And she moved to New Mexico or something like that, and she pretty much had been stuck with her other best friend, Gordo. Now, Gordo was portrayed as the sort of the geek of the group. He was very knowledgeable. He was the bright kid during the series, and he kind of plays a similar sort of thing in this film. And they do this graduation thing, and we meet up with Kate Sanders, who was Lizzie's best friend when they were children, and then she became sort of a bully. And
kind of her enemy, kind of her arch enemy.
Yeah,
At least that's how I took it from the way she would treat her. And she definitely was bullying her for sure. You could see it with how she wanted to embarrass her and things like that. I agree 100%.
And I'd absolutely say that the TV show explores a lot more of her character and their relationship with Lizzie. Which I think was sort of, it helped a little bit for the film, because if you just watch this film, you kind of knew that these two didn't really like each other, but then but there's more backstory to that. Karki is here. Carol, so good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome into the stream.
That's what I'll say is obviously I don't know the history of the two because I never watched the television show, but right off the bat you knew that there's some sort of animosity, and actually on Miranda, borderline jealousy of Lizzie, but she kind of hides it by being the bully. That's how I take it anyway.
Right. So they get to this. So they get to graduation, and she gets put on the spot for doing the presidential inauguration. Is that what it is?
Well, she's given what I took as the valedictorian speech.
Right.
You have your valedictorian that goes up there, and the valedictorian is usually the person at the top of your class, grades, that gets up there, does a speech as a representation of the class. That's how I took it. And all of a sudden, that girl came down and was sick. So they said, Lizzie, you're going up on stage, which was kind of
coincidental.
It was funny. I mean, it probably wouldn't happen like that in real life. To have someone go up there fully unprepared 2 minutes before the actual graduation and say, "Oh, by the way, you got to give a speech." But they
Yeah.
did, and she went up there, and it didn't turn out very well.
No, Vinny says we were supposed to get a reboot of Lizzie McGuire with Hilary Duff on Disney Plus, but for some reason they put it on hold. I think this was before COVID-19 put it on hold. No,
Well,
I think all these plans were in place. But I think Disney always has all these plans, especially when they announce something like Disney Plus. They were like, "Oh, we're going to do this, that, and the other," but I don't think we're going to get everything.
I think this one. I think he's right. I think this one was a big one. I think they were banking on this, and I still think it's going to happen. I do. I really think they're still going to reboot it.
I think it'll happen at some point. Melissa was saying she was filling in for valedictorian. Caitlin Make It Blue, thank you so much for being here. Another one of my wonderful members said we lost power. Sorry to be late. Well, good to have you back here, and you got power back. John P. Hazelton, great to see you. Great to see you. Alex Kennett says huge plot fail. We will talk about the plot. Because I think Walt and I will have a lot to say about the plot of this film.
Yeah, for sure.
So we kind of get a realization that Melissa. Sorry, I said Melissa, I meant Lizzie. Lizzie keeps. She's very clumsy. She fell over in the shower at the opening number, and then she falls over and causes chaos at the graduation. And then I think it was a very sort of cheap kind of gimmick to give her. I think they could have been a little bit more creative than that.
Well, I took it to clumsy for sure, but I took it as someone who couldn't deal. She wasn't really good in the spotlight. She would panic, almost like stage fright, which to me, I think plays into that, because when we get into the plot, I think that's where stage fright kind of comes in a little bit with what when we get to that final act. But that's, again, I could be totally wrong, but that's how I see it.
Wendy says, "Is there a plot?"
There is, and we're going to get into it.
RobFuz, good to see you. Partner channel, so glad that you're here, buddy. Guys, if you haven't checked out Rob's channel, please go do so. Amazing partner channel. He did a hangout on Friday, which was a lot of fun. So, guys, please go check out Rob. He's a really awesome friend. Kirsty Clark says the CGI background at the concert isn't very good. Yeah, thing is, CGI wasn't at its peak back then, I don't think.
But again, we got to think about what we're talking about here. We're talking about a Disney Channel movie. So there's only so much in the way of production costs that they're going to put into a movie like this.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is kind of where we get sort of stuck in, where we're sort of going. We're heading to Rome. Brandy Bay as well.
Brandy.
Good to see you. Thank you for being here. So they're heading to Rome, and Gordo and Lizzie make sort of a pact together, saying, like, just make it an adventure, make it sort of a once in a lifetime adventure, and just go out and do whatever you can.
Right, exactly. That's true.
So,
and when I'll say this from the very beginning. Once they get over there, my favorite character in the entire thing is the chaperone / tour guide. Okay. First off, if you've ever watched The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I think it's on Amazon Prime. Right. She's in that show. Pretty much plays the exact same character. She's fantastic.
She was good in the film. I think she gave a bit of comedy and life that I think the film needed.
Absolutely. She was hilarious. We found her to be, she was my favorite character in this movie. I thought she was very funny.
Vinny says, on one of my videos of the Backlot Tour, you can see the Lizzie McGuire movie poster during that ride. Oh, I'll have to go check that out. That's pretty cool, because that's quite a rare thing to see in a Disney park, because you don't really see any sort of Lizzie McGuire, much Disney Channel stuff in the parks anyway.
No, not at all. Which is I think maybe something that'll change over time.
Yeah,
now they have Disney Plus.
We obviously had the Phineas and Ferb meet and greet a while ago, but apart from that, there's not really been much Disney Channel sorts of stuff out there. Tracy
cool.
Glenn, great to
Hey,
see you, buddy. Tracy was live earlier with Russ and Jeff and Angela and Kenzie talking about The Mandalorian. Guys, go check it out. They've been reviewing The Mandalorian up until the next season, which comes out this week. This Friday. So it's going to be very exciting. So they head to Rome. They make sort of this pact that they're going to make every moment count, make it all adventurous. And then this is where it starts to get very sort of chick flicky, very sort of, oh, here's the boy, and Lizzie McGuire spots this boy in, I think it was the Trevi Fountain when they were making this wish.
Absolutely. Yes.
And I was like, all right, here we go. This is going to be the love interest. This is where the girl likes the guy, and this is where it's all going to start taking place.
What's interesting, though, for me is he's a European rock star or a European pop star. Let me put it to you that way. He's not an American pop star because she doesn't really know who he is. No. So it's not like it would be like somebody that we would know over here, but it might be someone who Dan might know, who's big maybe over in Europe area. So he's a European rock star, but he's part of a duet group. He's not a solo act. No. Just to kind of put that out there. So you're right. They're at the Trevi Fountain. She sees him. He sees her. She thinks he's cute, but there's a little bit more to it for him. He sees a resemblance.
Yeah. So his partner is
Isabella.
Called Isabella, and Isabella looks,
and he's Paolo.
And he's Paolo. Isabella looks exactly like Lizzie, except she's got brunette hair, and Lizzie obviously has blonde hair. Right. So clearly, Paolo has sort of a resemblance to her, and wants to sort of get associated with Lizzie. And he was like, "Oh yeah, we broke up, and we want to." And this was kind of like his motivation. It was like, right, I want Lizzie to come with me to the award ceremony and sing a song and pretty much cut Isabella out of everything.
And what he said that, if I'm not mistaken, he wanted out of the duet and she didn't, because she can't sing and he can.
And she lip syncs
and he doesn't. And he wants out, and she doesn't want out. And this is his way of kind of outing her to the public to show that, look, she really can't sing, that I'm the star.
Yeah.
That's what he tells her.
Yeah. Christine Hickman, another one of my wonderful members. Thank you so much for being here. Look at that baby Yoda picture right on her home screen. Look at that. That's absolutely adorable. Thank you for being here. Kirsty Clark says, when me and my family were in Paris, my little sister managed to get loads of Hannah Montana and High School Musical merch.
Wow.
Which is great because, Disney Channel, I think, does well on its merchandise, but, maybe like meet and greets and all that kind of stuff, not so much. But that's pretty cool. Now, I'm going to say it right now. This Paolo guy, the actor, very weak actor. I think he was I don't think he was a very good actor at all. I was not, very bland, very, his accent. I'm not sure if he was actually Italian. He didn't make me believe he was actually Italian.
Right.
But
I agree.
He was a poor actor, I think.
Right. Agreed 100%. But then we get into the whole typical, first off, she's supposed to be on this high school, they're on an adventure together. It's a high school excursion. So she's supposed to be with class the whole time. She's got to be with the chaperone. She's got to be in class or with the class as they go around and see all of Rome. Well, Paolo wants to take her out and show her all of Rome and other things. So she has to fake that she's sick.
Yeah.
And that's part of the plot here, because ultimately her buddy, the Gordo, is going to kind of vouch for her. He's going to be there and kind of help her with her alibi that she's sick. So that's how she plays it. She plays it that she's sick, and when they all leave to go do their excursions, she runs off with Paolo.
Can I just say, as somebody who, at her age, not too long ago, she did a very, as somebody who knows out of experience, she did a very bad job of faking an illness, because I know how to do a very good faking illness to get out of something. She didn't do it. She was just like, and that was it. Like she, and come on, like you could do better than that. Like I've got out of stuff better than that. But
yeah, that's funny.
Like I just didn't buy it. Like she looked perfectly well to me, and you know,
exactly.
and I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Kate Atwood, welcome into the stream. Good to see you. So they kind of start hitting it off. You know, Lizzie and Paolo start seeing all the sights. He starts being really romantic, and actually, he only tells her that to go with her to the awards ceremony, and then only after a while, she finds out that she has to sing with him, and Lizzie's kind of like a bit sort of worried because she already made a fool of herself on stage at graduation, and she doesn't want to do the same in front of thousands of people. And
she's not a professional singer. It's not who she is. And you know, he's like, "Hey, don't worry about it. We'll make it work. We'll do." I think, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, he says to her, "Look, you're going to be lip syncing too. Don't worry about it.
Your microphone will be off. Yeah, your microphone will be off. And
yes, don't worry. Just you know the words, right? Because he even says that. He goes, "You know the words, right?" And she goes, "Yes, of course." He goes, "Well, fine. Just lip sync. You'll be fine."
Because it was so unrealistic.
Look, let me say this. We watched Thanos snap half of existence out of the universe. Of course, it's unrealistic.
At least Thanos, when he was sick after he snapped with the Infinity Gauntlet, I believed he was sick rather than Lizzie. You know, faking an illness.
Well, we're talking about Lizzie McGuire, Hilary Duff, or Josh Brolin. The acting chops are a little bit better with Josh Brolin. That guy is a heck of an actor.
Yeah. So, and we find out that this is one of the few things I got intrigued about this film, is that Kate, Lizzie's arch rival, was pretty much the first one to find out that she was doing these things. She got caught red-handed.
Yeah, she caught her. And she caught on. I'll put it to you that way. She caught on. She was no dummy. She caught on. Which
was surprising because Kate in the show wasn't depicted very smart. Or, she was depicted as that stereotypical cheerleader, all the blondes and no brain, all that kind of stereotype, which was at the time what was depicted back then. And and actually, it was actually great to see her sort of get involved with the story, and she did figure things out. And actually, Lizzie and Kate had to sort of work together to make it work, which I think was really, really cool. The other character who we haven't mentioned is the skater kid. I can't remember his name.
He's one of the high school friends that goes to school with her,
who's a bit. Yeah, he's not all that. X Moon Platts, welcome into the stream. Great to see you. Lizzie meets Thanos. Yes, Alex, definitely for sure. But yeah, it's very so all the pieces are kind of putting itself together. I mean, they kind of. I felt this film was very sort of. It dragged. This middle part of the film dragged a lot. There's a whole scene of Lizzie going to get her style and her clothes and her hair and all, and it's typical chick flicky kind of film, which is not a bad thing. It's just for me, I wish
a lot of people.
Right. For me, I wish it would sort of progress more in the story, but I guess they kind of needed her to be the look of a pop star, I guess. So
that makes sense.
Pamela says, welcome in, Pamela. And Ethan, that's his name. Ethan, thank you for reminding me. The skater kid.
He was one of the most unnecessary. Look, I understand, again, comedy effect. I get it. I'm with you.
He just wants pasta. That's all he wants.
Yeah, his whole part was kind of unnecessary, but he was fine. You're right. We had the part with her getting the dresses, and then they had the part at the stage where him and her are singing. Which again is very chick flicky, very romantic kind of thing. I'm sure the girls loved it, and that's fine. I get it. Look, I like chick flicks as much as the next person. I do. There's a lot of them I like, but it just seemed a little too forced for me. I think this movie probably could have been 15 minutes shorter. It didn't have to be a 90-minute movie. It probably could have been an hour and what? It could have been an hour.
It was about an hour and 20 minutes movie.
Yeah, they could have got this down to about an hour and 10.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Could you imagine sitting down with the writers and be like, right, we've got Ethan the skater kid. What is his character arc? Oh yeah, we just want to make sure he gets some pasta at the end of the movie.
Right,
that's his character arc. I mean, come on, you don't need that.
Look, let's understand what this movie is meant for and who it's meant for. It's not really meant for us.
Pamela says there's nothing wrong with wanting pasta. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with wanting pasta. Look, me as a foodie,
it's not a plot point in a movie.
As a foodie, I could eat pasta all the time. I had pasta last night, but it's not essential to the. Yeah, it's just for me. Like, it's just not essential to the movie. I just think it was too much time dedicated. Look, Ethan didn't even need to be in this movie, and I think a lot of the characters didn't even need to be in this movie. But that's what, and so we didn't touch upon the parents and Matt, Lizzie's brother.
Look, I didn't see the show, but from what you're saying, if he was the same way in the TV show, he's doing it again in the movie. He's trying to get her, trying to find her, and not compromising. That's a bad word. In embarrassing positions because he wants to embarrass his sister. He's doing the same thing again. Status quo for him. I
would recommend going on YouTube and putting in Matt from Lizzie McGuire's best moments, and you'll have a great time because he's actually in the show he's a great character because he means well, but he's very manipulative and he's very funny and I really enjoy his character. But in the film, did we need Matt and his parents there?
Probably not.
Not really.
Well, that's part of the show, so you got to include him.
Karen said, I like getting the dress and the hairdresser scene. Yeah,
I understand that. It's going to appeal to some.
Right. And I think when it comes to films like this, where I think there's going to be a very different divide on people who like this film and people who may not so at the end, that doesn't mean that, we don't value your opinion. This is just our take. This is just our take on the film.
Right.
So yeah, and Pamela brings up, I wish Miranda was in this movie. Now, for me, if Miranda was in this film, I actually think she would have brought a lot of value to this film because this is Lizzie's best friend. And she kind of is the voice of reason to Lizzie. And I think she would have done a lot more to her and her direction than maybe Gordo might have done. Brandon from Phantasmic is good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. Long time, buddy, but hope you're well, my friend.
The other thing we didn't touch on, Dan, was the whole time Gordo, who knows that she's going out there with Paulo and doing all this, as time goes on, he's actually starting to feel a little jealous.
Feelings.
He's starting to feel a little jealous that it's not him and her, and it's Paulo and her. And the first one to actually catch on to that is the pasta guy, whose name escapes me that fast.
Ethan
kind of, he saw it right away. He guessed it.
Now,
and of course, Gordo's denying it. No, not me. But
now, in terms of character arc, now this character arc has been going on since the show. So this, for me, is the biggest character arc because Gordo has always been sort of that best friend of Lizzie who I think always had those feelings for Lizzie, but never was shown in the
probably show it.
Right. And I think taking the film and the TV show, this for me is the best arc in not just the movie but in the entire franchise, because it actually meant, I think it was good for him sort of to experience, and this was great for him, and I think he was really shone. I think he really was a good asset to this film. Paolo was a jerk, by the way. We'll get to that. So Lizzie gets all dressed up. She's still faking her illnesses to the head of the college professor, whoever her name is, and everything's starting to get a little bit more suspicious with this guy Paolo. Now we kind of get a feel. Now this is the scene I want to bring up next is where they're in this theater, this empty theater, and we've already spoke about having Lizzie's mic turn off and that she's just lip syncing. But you can tell that they are both lip syncing in this film, even him.
Of course. Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that was a good, subtle hint to what is to come later in the film. Amy, welcome into the stream. Another one of my wonderful members. Thank you for being here. My nieces love Lizzie McGuire. Plus went to the concert. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So yeah. With the next sort of big sort of plot thing is where Gordo has to make a sacrifice now.
Right, because, well, the chaperone, they come back from one of their excursions, and then she's going to go up to see Lizzie, and Lizzie's not back in the room yet. So Gordy's trying to kind of stall the chaperone, and the chaperone's like, what's going on here? And he kind of breaks down and says, well, because the chaperone's like, she's been going out. She's been sneaking out, hasn't she? And he's like, no, it hasn't been her sneaking out. It's been me sneaking out. So you're right. He sacrifices for her. And then he's got to be sent home because of it. So he doesn't get to see the rest of the trip.
Doesn't get to see the rest of the trip, and I don't think he gets to go to college, which he was the smart guy in the group. He was the very knowledgeable one, and that's always what he wanted to do. He wanted to go to those colleges like Yale and Harvard and all those colleges. So it's kind of upsetting. We got my captain Akron. Welcome into the stream, buddy. Great to see you. And the principal is hilarious. Yes, the chaperone for sure was very, very funny. Probably our favorite character from the movie. So Gordo has to be sent home, and on the way to the airport,
he's actually at the airport.
At the airport, he bumps into Isabella, who is pretty much Lizzie McGuire's twin, who is the rock star, who is partnered with Paolo. Right. And this is where sort of the mic drops. This is where everything starts to unravel, because she is now filling in Gordo. Who Paolo is. Like, he's a phony.
Well, right. But the only reason why she's even there is because because during the whole excursions when Lizzie would sneak out, people would take their photos and stuff like that. Isabella saw a photo of Lizzie, and that's why she in the magazine saw her photo and was going over to where Paolo was to get to the bottom of it. And that's when she met Gordo at the airport and kind of filled him in on what Paolo really is.
Karen Cook, welcome into the stream. Karen, welcome into the stream. Thank you for being here. Lizzie playing double roles. Now,
yes,
we'll get to that in a minute. So Gordo and Isabella sort of fill each other in at the airport, and Isabella's telling Gordo what's going on. Like, Paolo's a phony. He's not the one who wants to go solo. He wants to ruin her career because she's the actual singer, and he's the one who lip syncs. So it's kind of what Paolo is saying. It's a reverse. It's a reverse of what he said. He said that Isabella lip syncs, but actually it's him who is the lip syncer because he is a bad singer. So Gordo and Isabella rush off to the Coliseum where Lizzie and Paolo are going to be performing at this award ceremony. Now, we're going to get into the sort of the final act of this film, because I want to get to our pick and our review, our letter grades and whatever. So the car pulls up with Paolo and Lizzie all dressed up, and Lizzie falls over. Right? She's being clumsy. She falls over again.
Right.
Is it really necessary to have her like this running? This joke isn't funny for me. Like, there are some jokes that hit, And okay, here's an example of jokes that hit. Now, if you watched our review from The Cat from Outer Space, you know that one of our favorite running jokes throughout the film was when all the generals, all the army people would say, like, general, commander, captain, you know, that was a running joke that went on through the film, and it was very funny. Lizzie falling over the whole time was not very funny for me. I just think it was a bit unnecessary.
It depends on the person, because like young girls, they might think it's funny. You know, I'm with you. It wasn't funny for me, but I get what. Yeah, I think it just depends. Everybody's going to find it, because our joke, the one we think is funny from Cat from Outer Space, other people may not like that. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm with you. I thought it was unnecessary, but I get it. I get where they're going with it.
And it is. I think it is a different. It is a different audience. It is definitely for a younger sort of demographic. When it was released. Pamela says, "Walt, are you at Walt Disney World?"
Yes, I am.
This is actually a green screen.
It's a green screen. See, watch this.
It's a three.
Look at that.
360. This is where he gets dizzy and passes
Yeah,
out. No, kidding.
and then I fall into the water fountain. No.
Like I did. No. So Lizzie falls over on the way into the Coliseum, and she gets back up, and she's a bit nervous. And then this is where it all breaks down, where Paolo goes off and gets ready. And then Lizzie meets up with Gordo and Isabella.
Yes.
And this is where I think Hilary Duff just tries too hard with her acting. You can tell that she just missed the mark. Like, I don't know. I just didn't. It just looked really weird to me having her sort of play
Talk to herself.
Right. Like how obviously there are going to be differences, but when I see like Chris Evans in Avengers Endgame fighting with himself, right, I can see that better than, obviously this came out years ago, but
Right.
it just didn't
Editing, but editing plays a big part in that too, Dan. I think editing plays a really big part in that.
Yeah. I don't know. It just
I'm with
didn't.
you.
I just didn't. And Isabella breaks the news to her. That, you know, he's the phony, and Gordo's line here was Isabella's line here was like, are you going to trust a guy you just met, or are you going to trust a guy you've known for 10 years and your best friend? And that, I think, was a great character, a great moment. And I think Lizzie,
I think it's a good line. I think it's the right line too.
I think Lizzie went with her heart and went with Gordo, and they decide to sabotage Paolo, as he now is revealed to be the antagonist of this movie.
All right, because they turn his mic off and make him really have to sing. And he's
Simba says, you don't think she deserved an Oscar?
no, not maybe an Oscar Mayer.
Oh gosh. So the whole sort of setup is Lizzie goes on stage with Paolo. And what Isabella does backstage is she messes with the controls, turns Paolo's mic off, and turns Lizzie's mic to sing for Isabella to sing. So Isabella's the one singing, and Paolo's mic is off. So when he does sing, we can hear how awful his voice is.
He really is, yeah.
Yeah. And then he gets embarrassed and he runs off and he has a bit of a tantrum and his career is over. So
that's his arc, basically.
That's his arc.
Yeah. And then from there, Lizzie comes out and actually sings with Isabella on stage together. And that's a cool little moment. I mean, I think that was the right call. I think that's a good direction for that at that point, as the two of them sing. And you know, from there, I like that part of the movie. The song's okay. I didn't love the song, but it was okay.
I'm going to be honest. I did skip a lot of the song. I think it went on far too long.
Far too long. Just a little too long.
A little too long.
That's part of where the movie probably could have been cut a little bit. But And then after that, the part with the mom and dad sitting there and the paparazzi all around them, and they're kind of taking over.
Yeah, that's fun.
That was funny. I kind of like that.
Fun.
I can see that happening.
Kirsty Clark says, "I think we should rate this movie an F." We'll get to our grades. We'll get
there in a minute.
We'll get to our grades.
Talk about the last scene, because I think the last scene is kind of the moment, especially if you're a person like you, Dan,
right,
or anybody else that watched the TV show. I think was the moment everybody was waiting for.
Yeah, the moment that we've been waiting for. The romantic setting. They're on the rooftop of Rome. Lizzie and Gordo at the party. They both go up to the balcony of one of the hotels or wherever they're staying at, and they sort of have a moment. They discuss their adventure, and then Lizzie and Gordo finally kiss, and they kind of, you could tell something was there. I think they did a little bit. I think the chemistry was there, and I did believe it because a lot of it had built up from the series and this film. So that sort of was a great way not only just to end the film, but to end this entire franchise. And I enjoyed that. I really, really did. So that's the Lizzie McGuire movie. A bit of a shorter review this week, but this movie isn't a long movie. It's not. It's about an hour and 25 minutes. It did feel a lot longer than an hour and 25 minutes. I'm going to be honest with you. And I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what grades we discuss. Now, there's going to be obviously a very big sort of difference, I think, in the chat and with us, what our grades are.
And everybody in the chat, please give us your grade. We grade on a letter grade scale, A+ all the way down to F.
Yep.
And we have given Fs before.
Well, you have. you say that every week. I'm like, yeah, well, you have. Well, who knows? This may be the day. We don't know.
You never know.
So everybody in the chat, please put in your grade for the Lizzie McGuire movie from A+ to F. I'm going to come to you, Walt. Walt, what do you give the Lizzie McGuire movie?
Okay, so again, I never saw the TV show. Went into this cold. Didn't understand the characters. Didn't know who they were. Understood that it was a Disney Channel movie. I do like Hilary Duff. I do. I actually really do like her. I was kind of excited when they said they were going to redo the show. I didn't mind the movie at all. Some of the characters were unnecessary. The plot was very predictable. Melissa and I got it right away. We knew Paolo was bad. We knew he was BS, pardon the expression, from the very beginning. We knew it. We just knew it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this a D+.
Okay.
It was fine. It's not something I'm probably going to watch again. I would watch it over George of the Jungle.
I think I'd
have to time and twice on Sundays.
I would have to disagree, but okay.
Well, for me, I would. And so there were entertaining parts of this movie. There were parts of this movie that I liked. There were characters that I liked and made me laugh. But as a whole, it just wasn't. It wasn't for me. But then again, I don't think it was made for me, to be honest with you. I don't think this was a movie that was made for a 49-year-old man. So and Kay Atwood I'll post up in just a second. Before I give my grade, let's just see what people have put in the chat. Pamela says, I'm giving my grade now. I'm giving Lizzie McGuire movie an A++, and I'm sticking to that. That's absolutely fair enough. Fantastic. If this is a movie that you loved all throughout your life, absolutely. I think that's fantastic if you're giving a grade like that, because it shows how much you love the franchise and you love the movie. So I'm all for that. So yeah, really, really awesome. Kirsty, on the other end, will give it an F. Melissa, in the background, gives it a C-. Brandy gives it a D-. Captain Akron, a D+. Now, Kay Atwood said, I think the big difference is this movie was made for young girls and young people in general. Not older men. And I totally agree. That's what I just said. I just said that.
Yeah, 100%. I totally 100% agree. So, I think our voting will change depending on who we are, and I think that's exactly a fair point, Kay. And Kay gives it a C+. It was a tween movie, though. So we need to consider the grade in lights of the intended audience. Agreed. Yes, adults cringe, but girls love this. I worked for the Disney store then, and the merch sold out. B-. Alex, that's absolutely fantastic.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
We
Vinny
agree.
gives it a
100%.
B. Yeah,
See?
Vinny gives it a B.
Yeah.
Karen Cook gives it a B. Simba gives it a D plus. For my grade, I'm gonna give it a D minus. I really got to be honest. There are a few things I liked about this film. I liked Gordo's arc. I liked some of the humor, not a lot of the humor. I think the music was not for my taste. I really wish they just focused on Lizzie, Gordo, and Miranda if Miranda was there. I didn't. I think they could have done a whole different story, a more unpredictable story with just the three of them, because that's what the Lizzie McGuire show was all about. It was all about Lizzie, Gordo, and Miranda, and that's not what I feel we got.
Right.
So that's for me. That's kind of something I missed from this film. I'm not going to give it an F. I don't think it's a horrible, horrible movie, but I give it less than what I gave George of the Jungle, because for me, George of the Jungle was so bad that it was hilarious, and I just loved how bad it was. And that's what this film didn't make me laugh, but George of the Jungle did. So that's my opinion. Don't hate me, but that's just my opinion. So I'm going to give Lizzie McGuire movie a D minus. So, before we pick our next movie for next week, straight after the stream, my partner in crime here, my duo partner, my singing duo partner, will be live from his back garden in Epcot. So, guys, straight after the stream, head over to Walt's channel. We're going to have some fun experiencing the nighttime in Epcot. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So head over to Walt's channel in about 14 minutes time. Faith, Hope, and Disney, thank you so much for being here. Another one of my wonderful members, thank you for being here. We still love you, Danal. Thank you. I'm sorry I gave your movie a bad grade, Pamela, but thank you for being here, and I love that you gave it an A++. So I'm really happy about that.
Me too. It's the best part about this, Dan, doing this show with you and having everybody in there, is the diversity in the grades. It's fantastic. I love it.
It is great, and I'm loving doing these. So, so next week, Walt will be doing the next Disney movie review. Oh, yeah, I'm doing. Oh, yeah.
Dan gets to get next week, everybody. Don't forget, it's on Dan's channel.
Pardon me, because Walt did 2 in a row. I'm doing the next one. So next week, back on my channel, 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be reviewing the next one out of the box, which I think, Walt, it's time to pull.
It's time for a Star Wars for sure.
Or a Pixar. We haven't picked a Pixar film.
That's right, we haven't. That's right.
Or a Muppet film. Or a Muppet film.
If we get a Muppet film, I already know who we're getting on there with us if we get a Muppet film.
Oh, I can wear my Muppet t-shirt.
Right there.
Alrighty, so drum roll, please. Here we go.
I don't have drums, but I do have fountains.
This is I chose a long one this time. We are watching now. You said you wanted a classic film a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
So we are watching The Shaggy Dog.
Oh, that's an awesome one. Okay.
We are watching The Shaggy Dog now. Both of us are dog lovers. We both have dogs. This is going to be a fun one.
I got to ask, didn't they do a remake of this? So are we talking about the original?
I think we're going to do the original.
Please. I've not seen it. Okay, good.
We will do the original. So we're watching The Shaggy Dog this week.
Dog.
So I've never seen this movie. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a dog lover. Walt's a dog lover. We're gonna have a real good time reviewing The Shaggy Dog next week on my channel. So come back for that. This is gonna be great. Karaka says, which one? The Shaggy Dog. The Shaggy Dog. Which I think was released in the 60s, the 1960s and the 1970s. So this is going to go into our classic sort of category with The Cat from Outer Space. So
if I've seen it, it's been for forever, and I don't remember it. So to me, it's like seeing it all over again.
Right. Isaac Nail, welcome into the stream, buddy. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well, bud. So next week, The Shaggy Dog movie review on my channel. This is going to be fun. So this is the kind of thing we love doing. And, now that you know which movie we are watching for this week, The Shaggy Dog, guys, go out and watch it. Go watch it so you can come and review it with us next week in the chats, because we would love you guys to, do this with us. It's like our Disney book club, but except it's Disney Plus movies. Tracy says, I remember watching this as a kid, not much of it, but I remember it. Well, it's a great time to reminisce the old times, Tracy. 1959. 1959.
All right.
So that's going to be a really great film to watch. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, Shaggy Dog next week, 6 p.m. on my channel. Now, I just want to give apologize. I want to apologize for Disney Fiasco yesterday. Just some things came up. I wasn't able to do Disney Fiasco episode 112 yesterday. Just lots of things come up, but next Saturday, 7 p.m., will be our 3rd annual Disney Fiasco Halloween special. Now, if you know anything about our Disney Fiasco Halloween specials, you know something creepy is going to happen, something unexpected, something fun. And Walt, I believe that you could be hitchhiking Bones joining us, possibly?
I might be. I'm going to hitchhike my way in there, probably, for sure.
Possibly. So this is a show you do not want to miss. Next week, the 3rd annual Disney Fiasco Halloween special this Saturday at 7 p.m. So come join us for that. And then 6 p.m. on Sunday for the Shaggy Dog. Carlos, Disney World Freak, great to see you. Another one of my members. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Carlos. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Guys, go check out Carlos. He's a great friend and a great channel, so go check him out. So we're going to cut it a little bit short because in not too long time, in about 5-10 minutes, we're going to head over to Walt's channel. We're going to let him set up, ready to go for Epcot live stream this evening with him and Melissa. It's going to be fun. Just a few other things before we head out. I want to give a big thank you to Dean over at theliveplace.com. He is your go-to guy for all your family-friendly live streamers. Dean is absolutely amazing. Over 110 different live streamers. Go check him out. And I'm privileged to be partnered with him. So thank you so much. And guys, I also want you guys to go check out Leslie over at the Polka Dot Podcast. She interviewed me about my Disney cast member days. Guys, go check her podcast out over on Spotify and iTunes. We had a great time, and go check it out. It was really fun. A lot of laughs, and it was really good. And thank you to my wonderful partner channels, Mickey's Magic, Viapree Project, RobFuz, and this wonderful gentleman to my left, your right, my left, Walt from Mouse Talk. And I think we're pretty much there. I think we're ready to go. So, guys, if someone can put the link in the chat for Walt and Melissa's live stream in 8 minutes' time, go check them out. We're going to have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much, everybody. And Walt,
you got
a couple things coming up, apart from in a second.
Yeah, well, of course, the live stream goes at 7 o'clock, right after we're done here. And then on Tuesday, of course, we have DIZNEYDAN. This Tuesday is normally news and notes. We probably will have news and notes, but we might have some news and notes with a special guest, maybe. And then next Wednesday morning, I will have a live stream from Hollywood Studios.
I'm excited.
So lots coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So go check out Mouse Store. Thank you so much, buddy. This is fun. Guys, go check out the Shaggy Dog this week for the review. Next week, Carlos, this film came out during your time when you're watching 10 Commandments and whatever it was.
That's true.
So
1959.
Carlos, Shaggy Dog, 1959. Thank you so much, everybody. You're awesome. We love you. And as I always say, live your life with a smile each and every day. And I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Almost. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.